Today we are going to look at the game of Magnus Carlsen versus Krogh, which was played in 2003. Let's dive into it. In this game, Magnus is playing white pieces and Hans is. The game starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to b. The Rui Lopez is on n6. The Murphy's defense. So bishop to f4, knight to f6 and castle. e5, taking away the bishop, 3, and developing bishop 7 to e1 and d6. c3, castles. h3, preventing any pins. Knight to f5, go to c2. Don't want to give up the bishop. And c5. d4, striking in the center into c7. Knight b to d2 and knight to c7. Putting the knight at the opening square. And d5. Well, further harassing the knight and knight to the knight went to its original right. So now Magnus plays a4, trying to disrupt this pawn structure and go to f7. Knight to f1, g6, simply maneuvering the pieces, both of the players. So bishop f6 in the rook, so rook goes to knight to g3, knight to d7 and knight to h2, f6 and knight to e3, back, knight b6, and here the red start. Knight takes d5, knight takes b5 and bishop to d3. Well, will capture, but still decided to not. This bishop to b3 hits the pawn, so sorry, defends with bishop to d7. And Magnus goes queen to d and knight to f7. They are not in a hurry to play the rooks. Now Magnus played the rooks. Rook takes, and queen to e2. Further time pressure that pawn and queen to s6. Pending. Now knight to g4. Now Magnus shifts it. All tension at the king's. So king to g7, allowing h6. So bishop to c1, knight to b. Magnus plays bishop to c2 and rook to a. And taking control of the a5, Magnus plays queen to e3, allowing creating a battery. He's taking control of this square. e4, well, clamping the pawn and rook to f1. Magnus wants to open this file. Knight to c4, knight to f6. Well, can you take this knight? No, it is defended quite well, but didn't capture that and plays knight to g5. Now Magnus plays f4, hitting the knight, and queen takes, sorry, he takes f4, queen takes f. Now pressure on this pawn, and queen in this position, Hans plays bishop takes h. You cannot take the bishop because your queen will. So Magnus plays queen to h4. Now in this position, bishop goes back. Bishop to d. Magnus plays e5 for the fourth, rather opening up. Now the game takes the turn. He takes here in this position. Magnus plays knight to h5 check, sacrificing the knight. What if knight is not captured? Well, that one and that. Suppose where can we go? There are two squares. We go here. Knight takes, bishop takes f6. Queen takes g. Bishop takes f6. Bishop takes g5 and queen. Bishop takes g5 and queen takes. Won't be good. This pawn is attacked. Rook has the open file. Now in this one, what if king goes to f8? Then you can capture the because this pawn is pinned. So that wasn't played. Rook was accepted. Sorry, not rook. It was in this position. Knight sacrifice was accepted. G takes h5. Now Magnus Carlsen sacrifices queen. Queen takes g5. Cannot deny this sacrifice. Deny this checkmate. If we go here, same thing. So pawn takes. Now rook to f7 check. If you go here, it's a checkmate. But Hans goes into h. Rook takes h.